Tony Cariddi, you're the Vice President of Sales Marketing for PreSonus.
That's right. That's right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for coming by. Yeah, this exciting time.
PreSonus, friend bought it a few years ago now.
That's right.
Just quickly, what were the goals in purchasing the brand?
Well, PreSonus is a really strong audio technology brand for 30 years. We just celebrated our 30-year anniversary, coincidentally. I think it fits in. It aligns with our support of creators in general. We enable creators, on the Fender side with physical instruments. On the PreSonus side, we enable creators with software and hardware. So, I would say that's to the extent that we just continue to support creators, both on the stage and in the studio.
Yeah. The exciting thing at NAMM this year is the release of Studio One Pro 7.
Yeah.
We call it the DAW for all.
Yeah.
What does it do that warrants that title?
Well, Studio One is a really great blend of the tools that somebody would use for the kind of recording and mixing and production process with really great editing and mixing capabilities. But it also, is a nice hybrid of tools for doing sequencing and loop-based production. So when we say audio production for all, it's really the best of both worlds. You mentioned Studio One Pro 7, which launched in 2024 in October. We integrated Splice right into the DAW. So, that speaks to kind of enabling those loop-based tools and harnessing the power of Splice right in the DAW, which, if you haven't checked out those workflows, they're really phenomenal. There's some great videos online. You can find out about it. And we also built in a launcher into the app. So you kind of have those loop-based workflows that people are used to seeing and some other workstations that are kind of less traditional based. So that's another example of like combining both, kind of the old school and new school, if you will. And of course we have the AI stem separation built into, which is a wonderful feature for those that are doing either remixing or even just like, doing social content or what have you.
Everybody's putting AI into their products this year. How do you go about knowing how to use AI in your products?
How do we go about it?
Well, AI is such a new thing.
I think if you can look at AI in a bunch of different ways, the way we've looked at it so far is as a production enablement tool. So, this, and it's pretty simple, it's straightforward. We're doing AI stem separation, but one of the things you see in the industry is AI to enable workflows, like, give me a good EQ or a good mix or what's on the Splice side, give me some sounds that are compatible with what I'm doing. Those are, you might consider those like production enablement. And then there's the whole can of worms about, actually generative media, which, we're not doing at this point. But I think it's, there's obviously things that are risks and fears that surround that, but there's also a lot of opportunity and potential that, we don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater, so to speak.
A lot of the updates with Pro 7, you say, come out of customer feedback. How do you actually collate that information?
Well, a lot of it is just, old school talking to people, and we get a lot of feedback at places like this. We have a very active community we listen to. Our product and design team does a lot of outreach, and we've got a very active beta testing community. And we get crazy ideas that we drum up of our own, but we like to bounce those off the community before getting too far down the path.
When you're creating products, there are a lot of external forces in play. The computer companies are improving their products. There's a degree of secrecy. How how difficult is it to know what they're doing?
Well, you don't always know. And if you're a partner with some of these companies, you can get sometimes a little bit of an earlier sneak about what's coming and development tools. But yeah, it's a challenge. There's no way around it because the technology is always moving forward. It's always a bit of a catch-up game. I mean, as a user, you experience this because a new OS comes out, and all of this entire hall is catching up. Everyone that makes software is catching up to a certain extent to make it work. But those, whether you're talking about Apple or Microsoft or whatever, they're we partner close with them to close that gap as much as you can and stay in front of things.
Yeah. Another product that had out recently, the Quad had quantum audio interfaces.
Yeah.
What's the feedback like these?
The feedback's been incredible. So what we did with Quantum is we wanted to really establish the brand as a high-end audio interface company. Now, PreSonus has a really great reputation for quality products at a great price. We want to take the brand and really elevate it to have a product where people would say, that is an amazing, really high-end sounding audio interface. So we did that with the Quantum HD2 and HD8, which are 2-channel and 8-channel version interfaces. And we have a ES2 and an ES8, which is the form factor is a little bit different. But they were built and designed with really incredible high standards. So clocking, converters, mic preamps of 75 dB a gain. We're talking 32-bit converters. So we really elevated the whole thing. And what we're hearing from people when we've started doing some shootouts between some very expensive brands that are like 3x or 5x the price, is people are saying they're as good or better or no discernible difference. So it's definitely punching above its weight and making a lot of waves. And I'd say the same thing about the Eris Pro speakers too. It was the same idea behind that. We really wanted to level up what PreSonus was known for as a speaker brand, as an audio interface brand, as a brand that supports studio musicians and artists.
The benefits of using an interfaces with Pro 7.
I mean, the biggest benefit is you get the best sounding interface you can at that price point. That's the main thing. There's some integration with controlling the mic pre-levels and switching the inputs from instrument to line to mic or what have you, and having the recall of that. So between those two things, those are the main benefits.
And the future for PreSonus and Pro 7?
Well, we've got a new, like I kind of alluded to, we've got a new vision for the company and where we're going across the studio, live sound, production space. We've started executing on that, and there's the rest of the year is going to be a really exciting year. 25. We've got great stuff coming in 26. So can't speak about anything specific. I'm sorry, but I would say stay tuned and lots of great things to come. And if anyone in your audience has feedback, would like to see something, we're all ears. Send us an email. Hit us up on social, and we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Tony, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Greg.